Hey, I wanted to share some ideas I had about AI in the future, about the things that I'm very excited about. I'm incredibly excited about how I think that AI is going to just provide a lot of new jobs in software development, and that's really kind of where I'm closest to and where I see the most. Now, I think it's going to provide jobs in every industry, not just software engineering. But I want to just narrow down on just software engineering, since this is a topic and where a lot of people believe that AI is going to steal all of the jobs in software engineering. And I have this complete opposite perspective than a majority of what maybe you hear. Now, I think software engineers are going to be valuable at all levels, whether someone is just getting into software engineering now as like on the intern level, whether someone has been a seasoned CTO or executive at a company. I think it's going to impact them as well. And it already has. Now, over the last couple years, I have probably increased my speed maybe 20x. I've and I'm not even exaggerating on this. I am changed the complete way of how I write software. I will prompt the AI on how I'm writing functions about what features I want to write, and it'll make uh, entire directories of folders. It'll work with my code bases that are sometimes thousands of files, and it has context and understands everything to a good point. And it does make mistakes, but I would say that the mistakes it makes now are much fewer than it made 6 months ago, let alone a month ago. And every month we have something new that comes out that's just mind blowing. I've been using tools like Cursor and Windsurf, and before that I was using a lot of GitHub Copilot, and each one has its strengths and its values, and it's really been a game changer for how I write code. Now, a big part of like what people are like kind of worried about is that this great increase in efficiency is going to create less jobs in the software engineering space. But I can tell you firsthand, like at Upwell, the company I'm like a software engineer at, we're raising our headcount, and we're like employing new developers. We're hiring all the time, and why would that be the case if we are super deep in AI? We are using AI. We're directly affected by this for our entire process, from writing code to making decisions about what tech to use, to making decisions on business, etc. And it is really important to realize that the more you build, the more you're going to have to build on top of that. You build a small feature and that becomes a bigger and bigger one. And a good example of this is that we do a lot of document parsing, like AI document parsing. So one of my biggest roles is writing AI for document parsing. And it started off with like an invoice parser, and like the amount, the due date, and other different parameters like that. And then it was like, oh, well, if you can apply it to an invoice document, well, now you can apply it to other documents that are in the logistics workflow for finance teams, such as like the bill of lading, rate confirmations. And there's about 100 of these. So we're able to spin these out really quickly because of AI, and we understand exactly where to do it. So that takes one feature that maybe we could was written relatively fast because of our tools that we write code with, and now we're all of a sudden doing 100x more over a year of time, and that's why we need more people to be able to work on this, have more eyes, and so on. Now, if you think about the startup, and I've been a founder multiple times of a couple of different startups, and I'm involved in the startup. So I've my entire career is basically startups up to this point. The biggest cause for failure of a startup would be First, a founder is not getting along. But second, it's money. You have the problem of running out of money because software is too expensive. And so imagine that your software is going to cost like $1 million to create. And obviously it can be much more, it can be much less, whatever. But if you say $1 million, and now because of AI tools, you can get that cost down for the same level of detail to like $50,000. Now, this makes it a lot more approachable for a lot of businesses to take that risk. And it more importantly gives like startups or other businesses to iterate much faster on this iteration cycle to figure out what works and to get to a profitability level much faster. And this is very, very good for not only the software like founders that are doing this and the entrepreneurs that are trying new things and taking risks, but the software engineers that are going to keep their jobs because the companies aren't going to go out of business. Not to mention, it gives opportunities to people that are able to start a company, start a piece of software with a lot less risk by being able to do so much more. It also allows for someone that is getting into software, that is on an intro level, to all of a sudden learn technology really fast. Like I'm learning at a faster rate than I've ever learned before because I will ask the AI to do something and it'll do it in a way that I didn't think of. And so I'm learning different ways of doing it. And sometimes like I have better ideas or different ideas and I can pair it with the AI and the AI will give me feedback on why it is good. The models are getting much better. Like right now I am very deep on, my favorite that I've been using has been Claude 3.5, Sonnet, which is really awesome. But like, I don't know, a year ago, it was all big on like GPT and then right now there's another one called like R1 from a DeepSync that is like making headlines. You can run this locally on a computer and it's supposed to be just as good as the others. So a lot is happening and it's happening really fast. It's improving really fast. If you're not working with AI and you're in software engineering, even if you're not in software engineering, I think everyone should be getting used to these tools and jump on that bandwagon. It's not going away. It's just going to be part of our life. And hopefully you take out of this that there's like a level of optimism, and instead of the doom and gloom that a lot of people bring up, like that AI is just going to steal your job and it's going to be the death of humanity, blah, blah, blah. While a lot of these critics do have valid points, I'm not saying they don't. I think it's a lot better to be optimistic about life. Like there's AI right now that they're talking about will be able to cure cancer and really solve a lot of the world's problems that in 5 years from now, our problems today just won't exist. We'll probably have other problems, the problems will be way different than they are today. Now, if you're as excited about AI as I am, and I hope you are, and you're a software engineer, you want to be involved, maybe you want to work together, Upwell is hiring, and we're looking to hire a senior software engineer, and if you just go, and a few other positions too. That's the one that I'm closest to. But if you're interested, go to our careers page on upwell.com and check it out. I'd love to hear from you, or send me a DM or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have feedback or you don't agree with any of my points, totally okay. I'd love to debate with people that don't agree with me. And I'd love to hear different perspectives on this issue or these topics. All right, have fun. Talk to you soon. Bye.